Yes, but... Look, I know we lost, but I don't think putting her in a microkini is going to bring the people in. Nipple pasties, that's where the money is at. Don't tell me to shut up and just do what I'm told. Oh, last episode, I get to direct? Oh, you bet it will be a banger. You just watch. Those ratings are gonna soar, asshole. Oh, thank goodness there are no hard floors here. I can't possibly walk the audience through this. That would be reviewing the series out of chronological order. That would be quite devilish. Unreal was quite big when it released. With its stunning graphics, engrossing campaign, impressive engine, and hype multiplayer. But it could have been even better. The multiplayer, not the single player. They climaxed early on that one and never made another Unreal again. Look, I'll do the Xbox port one day. Just stick around for that one. Anyway, they released what was basically an enhanced multiplayer expansion in Unreal Tournament. But if you didn't have that beefy voodoo card at the time, you'd have two options to play the game. The Dreamcast or PS2. After the events of the first game, the Scar, mortal enemies of the humans, were driven to near extinction, thanks to a new coalition of corporations who came to dominate human society. Fearing for the loss of their profits, they formed the Unreal Tournament for entertainment and to keep the arms production going. You are the new contestant, hailing from one of the colony planets, seeking to win the tournament so you can give the winnings to your bedridden parents. All this detailed lore can be read in my imagination, as the plot is non-existent. If Unreal Championship was wearing nipple pasties in the bikini bottom, Unreal Tournament is wearing nothing but 3 lines of tape. In fact, they managed to make the plot even less relevant by removing it altogether. There is no swooping intro cutscene with narration like the PC version, and the manual literally doesn't mention the story whatsoever. So I guess we're just jumping in.
Welcome to Deathmatch combat training.
If the absence of bare memories didn't give it away, things aren't quite the same. I'm going to start with the visuals on this, as those are getting all up in my face. If Unreal Championship 1 was a cut of rough oak, Unreal Championship 2 fine, smooth boobinga, then Unreal Tournament for the PS2 is like having a teak 2x4 shoved up your ass. 2D assets look absolutely stunning. Menu, loading screens, textures, well, they exist. Otherwise, there is this cool colored lighting and reflective work going on, which would have been nice if the game didn't run like absolute dog shit. It runs somewhere between 25 and no, and not just when the action gets heavy. Some maps run at the speed of 5 to 6 business days without anything going on. But man, do these maps have some swagger. And so varied too. Pick your flavor, bro. Medieval, space, garage, back alley porno shoot. You name it, UT's got an arena set in it. Characters, on the other hand, are a mixed bag. There are only 2 models, male and female, just skinned differently per character. And it's way more noticeable than Unreal Championship. Controlling your character feels good, but basic. Movement is tight and air control is balanced, all to be expected from an Unreal game. The double tap dodge is still missing in action. Wait, this game was released before Championship 2. Has been removed for the PS2 port. In return, we get nothing. Which is kind of a bummer, as that was Unreal's defining movement mechanic. I hope you also like the default layout, because controller remapping is, much like the dodge, nowhere to be found. And the other layouts are kind of horrible. So no jump to L1. We'll need to make do with L2 instead. Also, for some reason, you can't disable weapon switch on pickup. It's really annoying losing an encounter because you dared step on a weapon. But as I was doing research and reading through EGM 137, my eyes fell upon a phrase.
On the PS2, you have a bazillion more mouse and keyboard options. Epic has included full support for these two little USB ports tucked into the front of the PS2.
I whip out my mouse, plug it in, and... nothing. God damn it! I calmly mutter to myself. Have I been lied to? Swindled across time and space by a writer paid to endorse and hype up an upcoming game? Frantically, I calmly do my due diligence and discover the problem. It's these pieces of shit. Like a neckbeard, the PS2 fears the light. So I bought this piece of simplistic and elegant design. Revel in the absence of distracting lights you can't see because your hand covers them. The taint of ergonomic buttons elude its very presence. It is perfection, because there is naught left to take away. A true cause merdique, as they would say in French. At least my keyboard worked flawlessly. Now, if anybody can explain me this, why the frick can we have full keyboard remapping, but not full controller remapping? I swear this shit drives me up the fucking wall. Anyway, we map the keys to something more sensible. Pulse gun to Q, rocket launcher to R, sniper to F, you know how it is. Okay, I lied a little. You can't remap everything. Some things are hard-coded and will conflict with mappings. I wanted to map the translocator to T, but that's where the team commands are mapped to. Shame. Let's just, Yep, dodging is still out of the question. This must be one of the only games where playing with a mouse and keyboard puts you on a disadvantage. The auto-aim is disabled when using a mouse, which wouldn't be a problem. My aim is legendary. But with this slideshow, it's implausible to aim. When the frame rate behaves, mouse aiming is nice actually. You can adjust the sensitivity to your liking, and there is no aim acceleration. That might be good to mention, they increased the size of the head hitbox, so enjoy the headshots. Huh? We're being saved! I knew it! It's all part of the producer's plan. The viewers need new scenery. I guess the producer has his priorities sorted. A crucial part of an arena shooter is its arsenal, and it's often said that Unreal Tournament selection is hot fire. Like the last game we reviewed, Unreal Championship 2, each weapon has a primary and alternate fire mode. This gives some weapons more versatility, but it usually just boils down to changing the DPS. The Enforcer and Minigun do this by increasing the fire rate at the cost of reduced accuracy. By the way, they're the same gun. Even if you go John Woo in their ass, the minigun just makes the Enforcers obsolete. The Pulse Gun shifts from making the enemies suck your balls to letting them take your shaft. The Flak Cannon turns from fuck you into bend over, I'm going in dry. And the Ripper goes from weapon that fires a bouncing spinning blade around the arena that can insta-kill headshots to shitty rocket with less splash damage than my toilet bowl. Which leaves us only with the weapons that have a meaningful, heavy air quotes, secondary mode. The rocket launcher lets you ruin somebody's day from around the corner. The shock rifle lets you, oh, there we go, shock your balls for increased pleasure. The bio rifle is not shit in this one. I don't even use the secondary fire mode. Blazing the place with high damage blobs satisfies me enough. The Redeemer, a handheld nuke, lets you guide the projectile so you can pick the person you'd like to erase off the face of the Earth. Or asteroid. Then there is the utility weapon, the Translocator. Read, handheld teleporter. Let's be honest. Everybody knows that Unreal Tournament's soundtrack slaps harder than the Large Hadron Collider. Foregone Destruction, Super Fist, Going Down, Cannonade, and many more have been imprinted into my mind over the years. Whenever I hear those tracks and close my eyes, I can see those tracker bars moving. dry yourself. Time to get back to the big buns, I mean big guns, and dive into the actual game. I'm not going to walk you through every single stage, that would be quite tedious. Even I, with my shitty pacing, can see that. I'm just going to quickly go over the game modes. Yep, that is Deathmatch. There is a match, and lots of death. What do you want me to say? This is like the game mode people think of when thinking of an arena shooter. A high number of a high scale. In Unreal Championship 1, there was a game mode called Double Domination. There were 2 points on the map players had to control, and if they held both for 10 seconds, a point would be given. I presume it was called Double Domination because there were 2 capture points. So naturally, Domination has... right, 3 capture points. The rules are slightly different from UC1 though. In this iteration, we don't need to hold all the points to score points. Now we score points by holding points to speed up the rate at which we generate points, and the first one to hit a set amount of points wins.
Congratulations, you are a winner.
It's a pretty okay game mode, elevated by decent AI. Even without issuing commands, teammates will hold points down or go in the offensive. The maps are also pretty decent and are designed so points quickly change hands. Solid middle score out of a higher score. Another classic returns in the form of CTF, also known as CTF. Here we have a bog standard iteration of captured flag. Raid the enemy for their flag and don't let yours get captured.
Headshot.
The problem is the AI. They're too stupid. They'll stick around the flag to protect it and try to assault the enemy flag, no problem there. But they fail at the more advanced strategies like coordinating an assault, protecting the flag carrier, focusing down the flag carrier. And that's both ways, by the way. Once you've taken the enemy flag and made it out of their base, you only need to worry about the occasional straggler as you leisurely saunter back to your base. You'll blaze through the matches and ladder in no time. The last game mode is Assault, and it's unique in that it's kind of like a micro-campaign. The players are split into 2 teams, attackers and defenders. The attackers have a narrow amount of time to beat a set of objectives in the map. These can range from sinking a boat to capturing a train and escaping from a castle. The defenders? Yes, until the time limit runs out. Man, it sucks that the maps for this one are so good looking because it's the weakest of the 4 game modes, but the one with the most potential. A massive problem is inherent to the concept. Attacking is much harder than defending, and here, it's much harder.
Double kill.
Assaulting is a race against the clock, trying to coordinate an attack with the AI, which try to follow you, which is quite nice, fighting through choke points, and finding out how and where to complete the objective. Whereas defending looks like this.
Rampage. Double kill.
So how can we improve the attacker's chances? First, add something to help with navigation, objective markers, or a mini-map, or if they implemented the arena preview mechanic, we could have scouted out the map beforehand. Next, the bullet-based meat grinder. Here is a fix I came up with that would be easy to implement. Adjust the respawn timer for the defenders. This would make it so the assaulters feel like an endless wave, while every loss for the defender would be more noticeable.
Kill.
Also, better map design. Some places have no alternative routes and a small choke point. I know that if these were real players, they would just end up rocket spamming the corridor. I've played lots of Clan Arena, I know how it goes. Others have side routes, but they're so abysmally dog shit. You're better off not taking them at all. Low number in a very high scale. There is one more game mode you forgot about. Challenge, or as it should be called in the PS2 port, Duel. In the PC version, it's a regular deathmatch against some of the hardest bots, but in the PS2 port, you and an opponent are locked into an arena, and the first one to get 15 frags wins. And these are some hard opponents. Like, really hard. The first one is manageable, if a bit spicy, but with good map control, a decent aim, and the occasional lucky shot, victory was never in doubt.
Congratulations, you are a winner.
Then, the second challenger came. Fuck him, fuck his map, fuck how open it is, and fuck this frame rate. You only have to process one enemy for fuck's sake. His aim is godlike, which really hurts when the arena is as open as this one. You cannot break line of sight, so when he pulls out his sniper, you are dead meat. Thank God he prefers the rocket launcher. No, actually, he's also got a godlike aim with that one. Only one thing left to do. We're going to tip the odds. First, D.
God damn it!
First, D's. Whip out the controller. Remember what I said during the movement section. You lose the auto aim with a mouse and keyboard. Our aim might be decent, but not auto aim decent. And definitely not at this frame rate. Next, get your hands on a shock rifle. Shock rifle? I can hear you ask? Yes, it's got the heaviest auto aim of all the weapons, and 2 to 3 shots kill an unarmed opponent at any time. Now, I'm going to turn you into an arena shooter pro. I want you to get the stopwatch. No, I am serious. One complaint I made in the last video was that there is no timer in the final duel. Same problem here. When the match starts, I want you to run that stopwatch and make a mental note whenever somebody picks up quad damage, mega armor, or mega health. EU damage, shield belt, or keg of health. Don't remember the full time, you just need the minutes or seconds. Say you just picked up U damage. Look down at your stopwatch, take a note of the minute marker. I don't know the exact times, so feel free to correct me in the comments. Say you pick it up at minute 8 and the respawn time is 2 minutes. When that stopwatch is about to strike 10, you start heading toward U damage. Now, you will always be there when it spawns, denying it from your enemy and giving you a good leg up. Keep doing the same for shield belt / keg, and even if your aim isn't that good, you will slowly kill your enemy with chip damage, while they try to make do with the scraps you leave them. With that knowledge, Rampage becomes a With that knowledge, Rampage becomes a reasonably challenging match.
Congratulations, you are the winner.
Next up is a Scar, a full-blooded Scar. His arena, Malevolence, has a devilish U damage placement. There are 2 ways to get to it, impact jumping or lift jumping. But every time I try to lift jump, I slam against the ceiling and fall down, or don't get enough height and pound the wall. Impact jumping is an option, but it costs a lot of health, and is hard to pull off in a pinch on a controller. Let's skip the U damage and focus on getting some free shots in while the AI tries to grab it. Then we just play some peekaboo with the AI and...
Congratulations, you are the winner.
Now we can move on to the final match against Zan, the current tournament champion in his map Hyperblast. Our first map was a spaceship, so it's only fitting we end on one. He is piss easy. Not his AI, that one is as accurate and map aware as the rest. His map has a fatal flaw. Here is the shield belt. See all these health pickups? These small, overheal capable, quickly respawning health pickups? In this small hallway where the AI can only come from 2 sides, where with one low gravity jump, you can get from the shield belt to the shock rifle and back, where if you poke out for a second, you can pick up armor around the corner. Do you know how powerful this strat is? I wasn't even intending on winning, I was just exploring the map. I went from -1 to victory in 1 match. Yeah, I missed out on the invisibility, but the auto-aim doesn't care, so why should I? And so we get the final trophy. No ending cutscene, no special victory animation, go fuck yourself and get out. And that is Unreal Tournament for the PS2. Is there any good reason to play this over the PC original? No! It's got nothing going for it other than the unique challenge mode. I would not go out of my way to buy the game for that, and neither should you. Just play the free PC version. Well, that was the last episode. Hello. Verbal consent? For what? Extraction? Hell yeah! When? We need to pack our stuff. medieval, space, garage, back alley porno shoot. You name it, UT has got an arse. UT has got an arse. Yes, it does.